What's going on, Jay? Got your virtual demo here. Let's see what we've got on our hands. So, updating the PSM tracker like we always do. In fact, I will move it back to the next week because we do it every week. Let's see what we've got this week. So, this is missing just yesterday, just based on when it got done. So, yesterday, don't know if it was good, particularly good, or what. Every day is good with this campaign. We've never lost money. I think we've only ever profited a day that this campaign has been on. So, can't argue with that. Looking great. You're averaging $340-ish, $339 a day in profits, which is huge. You know, kind of an interesting thing. The cream bear is more popular by a pretty significant margin of 17%. Or sorry, 19%, even more. I don't know if there's anything we could or should or can do about that, but that's interesting, you know? Like, should ad creative be more focused on that? You know, if more people are going to go for that one, should that just be, is that just the more desirable one by 20-ish%? That's a curiosity I have. But anyway, not much to say other than that. The cost per purchase is incredible. Your cogs are not bad, also, for what it's worth. I mean, we're keeping it nice. And then your average order value is great. $71 is huge. So nothing really to say there. I guess the main thing to point out is we were, originally we were aiming for a 50% margin and kind of going more towards erring more on the side of like, let's keep less money and turn it more into scale. And then last time we talked, we said, let's aim for more cash and less scale in the short term so that you can get your product set expanded and restocked a little bit. So we have made those changes. We are aiming for 75% now, and yeah, we're hovering more around that area since we started doing that in the last 2 weeks of data that I have. We've got, yeah, so we're floating around there, and I think in theory, yeah, we're kind of hitting the area where our CP is actually above our targets, which is, again, our targets are our own choice, so it's not like, oh no, made it. It's like, no, we said the target was easier to hit and now it's harder to hit, and so now our scale or our spend will start to decrease a little bit, which is what we wanted. So that's the deal there. It's the report there. You gave us the final edits on the CD offer. We checked over all that. I think we're good on all that. I did have kind of final back and forths. Yeah, exactly. With L, the one thing was just there's a copy that mentions the teddy bear family, like referring to, hey, you bought a teddy bear. Obviously, we can't borrow that wholesale for the ad campaign version of this that's going to new people. So we did everything you said, had signed off on, but we removed that line, obviously, just because the context doesn't make sense. So we are ready to launch that this week, I believe. So that's pretty cool. I have the launch codes for that. So we'll turn that on if that's cool. We changed the ad rules to reflect a 1.75 PSM target, which I just explained. Then we have a bunch of sort of odds and ends here. Yeah, CD offer final edits. Just talked about that. Editing the CD Ascension offer to instead offer the coloring book at 20% off. And that was updated on 8/10. So that in Flowdesk, that Ascension series that was again previously God, I think I need your login. I don't think you gave me access. that flow has just been reskinned with the coloring book links and verbiage on that. I was hoping I can get in here faster than I am to show you. Here we go. All right. I think this is... No, that's the dated one. That's the dated one. And also, that's not a workflow. What am I talking about? Yes, here it is. I would like to just preview, please. Great. Yeah, so you can see, that's just the little welcome situation, some blogs, did your teddy bear arrive, another blog, coloring book of prayers and journal set. You can see that there. So traded that all out. We'll see how that does. We checked the results of that ascension, and still no sales. So actually, I don't want to celebrate that. I just want to check that. So again, all part of the same thing. The ascension that we've been running has not been unlocking automated second-time purchases on the Barrett customers. We've pivoted to the coloring book, which is a great idea on your part, and that is complete. So we'll see that. We'll see that in the future, what that does for us, and we'll keep watching that progress. Okay. Now I'm realizing something. This needs to all be Monday. Okay. One quick upsell. Oh, sorry, there's that. One quick upsell. Just checking on the results of that. Since we've turned it on, it's only gotten a 2.5 conversion rate. That said, the revenue is $276 we wouldn't have made before. Extra 76 cents, 79 cents per visit. Pretty cool. But what is that? 348 times 0.0259. 9 sales. That's pretty low. For sure, that's low. I think this could be in the double digits. I think it could at least be a 10% conversion, if not. I was expecting, I mean, it's expensive for a one-click upsell style upsell. A lot of times I'm putting like $8 items in there and getting like a 60%. So that's something we could chew on. Like, do we want to bring it way down and just optimize for that extra little margin? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if we're doing all the orders we're doing, $276 we wouldn't have made without this, sure, but when we blend that across all the orders, it's barely an increase in that order value, So I would be interested to pivot way to like something cheap, volume 1 for $9 or something. It's up to you ultimately how hard you want to go with that. $10. But I think that's the move. Maybe we're just offering something too robust, so I'm gonna, and I'm remembering we switched it to that optimized one, but I still am not clear on if the auto optimized version of the upsell is indeed the pop-up we're talking about, or that new, I'll show you what I mean. There is a feature with Zipify that's like automate and optimize the offer. It's obviously not affecting this because every time we look at this, it is this thing we wrote and it is this product we selected. I think they're talking about this. So I want to disentangle that. Verify if Zipify OCU is yeah. Yeah, I just want to know what specifically that is, because it's clearly not the pop. It's not rotating the pop-up out with different products. but maybe it's that nested bundle, nested upsell inside of the cart. And if it's neither of those, I want to know what it is, obviously. But either way, I say we keep the pop-up upsell. New Zipify OCU pop-up upsell offer. Something cheaper? I mean, I think we should just go for volume 1. Maybe it, like, again, we don't have to discount it much. I just think that going from the collection to a different CD at a lower price point as a means of just trying a lower price is totally sensible. So I'm going to try that, if you agree that that's a good idea. I know you think a lot about pricing and just the brand feel and how price is a part of that. And if you feel like, I don't want to go too low if you feel like it's a little, says something, we did add the post-purchase with the upsell with the AI optimized auto cycling thing. Not published yet. Let's go publish it, and then we'll hang up this record, shall we? There you are. There it is. And where would that post-purchase be? Post-profit. I don't know if that is indeed, maybe it's in, there it is. Product page upsell, the customers on the product. No, we want the, yes, down here. AI, cool. No discount applied. I think that's okay. And we'll keep that simple. All right, publishing that. Great. All right, so this week we will hopefully launch the CD offer if all looks well. Just give it one final pass. Figure out what, that auto-optimized order bump, figure out where that shows up, what that's all about. Maybe change the pop-up to a cheaper CD and just keep essentially the same product, switch it out for a lower cost version of the same product. Let me know if that's cool. We'll track the finances as we always do. We'll monitor the beginnings of that new Ascension flow with the coloring book, and just, obviously it's not enough time to generate sales, but we'll just make sure it's working, and see the traffic flow. Actually, there could be people queued up for the coloring book because, we changed the emails, but the people were still moving through the flow at the same rate. So maybe some people are getting that already. So it is worth checking in on. Oh, last thing, the 10% versions of the ads, the 10% discount. Before we started working on that, and we do, I think we're at a place where we could launch what we did. I just wanted to make sure one last thing. Do you want to just raise the teddy bear prices by 10% and keep the 20% ads? Are you regretful of the 20% because the margin could be bigger, or optically, you don't want to be always relying on, waving around 20% to get things done? I don't know what side of the conversation is the reasoning for this, so I'd like, to hear your thoughts on that. Because if obviously we can achieve the same effect by just raising the price 10%, offering 20%, raise it 10%, now we're making 10% more. But if that's not the issue, and it's more just that you don't want to be a discount heavy brand and be always waving that flag, I also understand. So let me know your thought on that. But we hit a little crossroads there, and I wanted to make sure that's cool. I will see you in 6 days on our call. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.